What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Really excited for this one today as we're looking at the Mewtwo V-Union control deck that Sander Wojcik used to get top 8 at Stuttgart. Let's check it out. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of Mewtwo V-Union at this point, between Xander's various diabolical creations with his different control archetypes, one of which being similar to what Piper Lapine used to win Toronto Regionals this past weekend. But the main focus of this deck, much like the Togekiss deck that we featured previously, is that this Mewtwo is not supposed to get knocked out. It has the super regeneration attack, healing 200 damage from itself. We also have the addition of V-Guard from the newest set, adding 30 HP, effectively, reducing the damage that dealt to that Mewtwo by 30. And this time we have Xander's newest innovation, Gengar, with that Life Shaker ability. And as often as you like during your turn, you may move one damage counter from one of your psychic Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. So you can effectively move all of your damage counters around amongst your different psychic Pokemon and then heal them off with the Radiant Tsareena's Elegant Heal, which heals 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. You also have the addition of the Kirlia engine in this deck with that refinement, much like Chinchino, discard a card, draw 2 cards. And we even have the addition of a single copy of Gardevoir with that Shining Arcana ability. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way that you like. But most importantly, you put the other cards into your hand. So even if you don't hit a psychic energy, you can actually just draw 2 cards with this Shining Arcana. It also serves to give your board additional HP. So since you are able to move all of the damage counters off of Mewtwo with Gengar's Life Shaker, you can actually just stash it on this Gardevoir to be healed off slowly over turns. And you could even knock out your own Pokemon if you'd like to give up some prizes if you have the luxury of being able to do so, all in the name of keeping this Mewtwo V-Union alive. Sticking to the roots of his other control decks, Sander did play the full 4 copies of Snorlax with that Gourmandize ability, just to keep the draws moving with this deck, since there isn't really a lot you want to get going early. You just want to get some Ralts in play that you can evolve into Kirlia, thin through your deck as much as possible, discard these Mewtwo V-Union pieces so that you can actually put the V-Union into play. There's also 1 copy of Shadow Rider Calyrex V with the Shadow Mist attack, and Astral Barrage can be useful in a pinch as well, putting 5 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. But the Shadow Mist attack is what this is mainly used for. You can use it against Lugia so that your opponent can't play any special energy or stadium cards from their hand during the next turn. This is ultimately a control archetype, so Sander did include a copy of Fan of Waves, Flannery, and as well as the Yell Horn. So just cards that are a little bit more disruptive for your opponent, in the goal of getting your Mewtwo to last a little bit longer, and also of giving yourself more time to get set up. As I mentioned, the aim is to get through your deck as quickly as possible, so you include cards like Trekking Shoes, you even have the Pyukumuku with that Pitch of Pyukumuku ability, so just ways that you can draw through your deck even faster, and especially with the Trekking Shoes, Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, all of these cards using to discard cards from your hand so you can draw more off Gourmandize. You can get rid of some of those Mewtwo V-Union pieces as well. Do have to include 2 copies of Peonia, since our prize cards are very, very important here. You can only play 1 copy of each V-Union piece, so if any of those are prized, need to be able to fish those out with Peonia. Also have 2 copies of Cyllene to recycle resources, in addition to 2 copies of Pal Pad, so you can effectively create what should be an infinite loop unless you hit a unfortunate series of tails. So that's the list. Let's get into some games. Hopping into a game with this Mewtwo V-Union deck. We did lose the coin flip and our opponent let us go first, so we definitely are not complaining too much about that, especially with this opening hand with plenty of ball search and a way to even get into our Snorlax. So we're going to start off with a Level Ball. Go ahead and get this Ralts. Check our V-Union pieces in deck. And we do have 1 prize, so we'll have to grab one of those with Peonia at some point later in the game. And should have used the Trekking Shoes first, but that's okay. Don't know what we're playing against, so we'll discard that. And we do get the Snorlax down, so we can throw the Ralts down. Can Quick Ball away. I think we'll get rid of this V-Guard energy since we won't be able to attach it anyway. And I think I'm just going to grab another Ralts here. Just want to get as many of these in play as we can. Scoop Up Net the active. push up the Snorlax, and we will Gormandize for 6. Pretty solid first turn, I'd have to say, getting our bench flooded with Pokemon. Unable to find any V-Union pieces to discard here, but our setup is looking really strong so far. Opponent starts with an Air Balloon and the concealed cards. We still have no clue what they're playing quite yet. Metal Energy could be Dialga. Battle VIP Pass should tell us some more information about their deck. And they go down and get a Arceus and a Zamazenta V, so definitely some kind of Arceus deck. And this is actually a really good matchup for us. Arceus struggles to take one-hit KOs on the Mewtwo, so we should be able to just completely out-heal them. So yeah, Quick Ball coming down. Pitching that Manaphy, definitely not going to be needed in this matchup from their side. And they get a Duraludon, so some kind of Arceus Duraludon deck. Still feeling pretty okay. They can only hit 220 once again with that Duraludon, so we can just completely out-heal them as long as we're able to get our board established. So on this next turn, still going to be looking to get that Peonia so that we can fish the missing Mewtwo V-Union piece out of the prizes. And the Regal Stance to draw 5. So pretty good start from our opponent as well. They got the Arceus down and an attachment. And we start with another Ralts. So I think we will go ahead and Level Ball for a Kirlia. Did prize one of those as well. Evolve here. And I think we're going to Refinement away this Psychic Energy. Want to get those in the discard pile so that we can use Union Gain at some point. Gonna have to thin our hand down a little bit here, so I will Quick Ball away this Manaphy. Just gonna grab another Snorlax here, just since we know our active is most likely going down on the following turn. Throw that down. We can even play this Cyllene. Would love to get maybe that Quick Ball back. Do hit a heads at least. I think I'm actually gonna put Level Ball on top. That gives us a guaranteed out to another Kirlia on the following turn, and then we'll just Gormandize for 2. Got that Level Ball and another Cyllene. So the Level Ball at least guarantees us another Kirlia on the coming turn. Get an Espeon down and a Tool Jammer. Okay. Not too worried about either of those elements. The Espeon VMAX isn't really going to do that much against us, but they just have to Regal Stance, and I think they got rid of their VMAX too. Interesting decision to put this down. They must play an Ordinary Route or something like that, and we actually top deck a Kirlia. So I actually want, this is an interesting interaction. I want to hold this Level Ball because there's only one Kirlia left in the deck, so we could actually use the Refinement first because we want to draw into that Kirlia with this Refinement if we can. I think we'll just get rid of this Ralts. We'll start with the Trekking Shoes. No, thank you. And we got a Mewtwo V-Union piece. Fantastic. So we will Refinement that away. We get another Level Ball, and we get the Peonia. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and use this Peonia. We're going to choose these prizes. And we got the Mewtwo V-Union piece, and the Gastly, and a Kirlia. Those are perfect prizes. I don't think I could have handpicked better prize cards to take there. I don't see ourselves needing the Gengar in this game as much as I would love to pull it off. So I think we're just going to throw these back and just go like that. We got the other Kirlia. We can get rid of this Mewtwo V-Union piece. We still have the Gardevoir as an option at some point as well. Go ahead and get those. Have another Trekking Shoes we can throw out. I do want this card. And I will use the Pyukumuku here. And we get the Gastly. I think I will actually go in with this Gardevoir. Again, we can just want to see more cards this turn. So we'll Shining Arcana, get an Ultra Ball and a Pal Pad. And I think I'm going to hold on to these because I do want to discard the remaining 2 Mewtwo V-Union pieces at some point. So I think we're just going to pass here and hope that we can draw into a Mewtwo V-Union piece. Of course, we can just go Ultra Ball for 1 and then discard it with the Kirlia. So our next turn's looking pretty good, and our opponent has not been pressuring us whatsoever, so we've had this much time to just get through our deck. We only have 18 cards left when our opponent's using Starbirth for the first time. So this Snorlax in the active will go down, but we have so much time now that I'm not even remotely worried about our Mewtwo not coming out quickly enough. Our opponent does play Cyllene of their own, which is a little bit scary. And they did flip double tails, so we like to see that. Go for the concealed cards. I wonder if they play Pal Pad. If they play a Pal Pad to get that Cyllene back, that could be a little bit annoying. But I still don't see any way that they can ever one-shot our Mewtwo. So, gonna go in with the Trinity Nova. That is completely fine by me. Even frees up a bench space for us, which is totally fine. And they'll get some energy into play. And we will just promote the Snorlax for the turn. And we get a Trekking Shoes. So I'll start with the Trekking Shoes. Yes, I think I'll keep that. So we'll start with this Peonia. I just wanted to see what the other 3 prizes are. See if there's anything we want here. Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, and Psychic Energy. So those are good ones to get. Put this Gastly back. I think we'll also put back this Level Ball and the Bruno. So go like that. So we'll Ultra Ball for a V-Union piece. Get rid of the Psychic Energy. And I think we'll get rid of this Cyllene as well. Grab the Mewtwo V-Union piece. And then we can even grab the other one with this Ultra Ball. Grab that one, and then we will refinement it away. Get some good cards there, so we can throw out this Yell Horn. Can use the Fan of Waves. We will refinement away the Psychic Energy. Get a V-Guard and an Ultra Ball, so that's solid. We'll go in with the Shining Arcana. Don't want to attach that energy, so we'll just draw these 2 cards. Can pitch the Pyukumuku as well. I will go ahead and Pal Pad back both Cylenes just to have those in the deck. And then I think Gorman dies for 1. Again, not really too much we need at this point. The Scoop Up Nets are great, so at some point we can go down to just the Mewtwo V-Union in play, or maybe Mewtwo with something like the Radiant Tsareena to heal us a little bit. Opponent does get the double turbo down. They could go in with this Zamazenta. That wouldn't take the KO. They did hit heads, which is a little bit annoying. And they'll go down to 4 prizes left. And we can put up the Tsareena. So we're going to start with a refinement on this Psychic Energy. We have the V-Guard Energy, and that's pretty much all I want to use. And refinement away this Kirlia. And I think we're going to use this Flannery here just to thin it out. It doesn't really need to be in our hand or anything. We don't really care about that at this point. We'll just play the Mewtwo to get that into play. Can attach this V-Guard to it. Scoop Up Net. Bring in the Mewtwo. I think I will hold off on the Tsareena. And we can even use the Shining Arcana we have. Grab those cards. And we will just go for the Union Gain. Get those energies onto the Mewtwo, and now we can just go for that loop of Super Regeneration. It puts down a Miltank. That doesn't bother us whatsoever. We can just infinitely heal against our opponent between the Pal Pads and the Cylenes. And our opponent's just going to run away and throw this Miltank into the active. So we could even just go for the Psysplosion if we wanted to on this coming turn. Just put out some pressure and take prizes if we so choose to. Opponent fails the Heavy Ball, and Tsareena draw some more cards. That's what I like to see. I want them to draw more cards. Discard a Roxanne. Definitely not going to be useful against us. I don't really think we're going to be taking prizes at all in this game. We do have the option to, of course, though. I want to start thinning some of these useless cards out of the deck, so we're going to get rid of the Gengar and the Fog Crystal. Last card in deck is another Cyllene, so that's great. I think we're even going to go in with the Refinement here on the Level Ball. Draw that last card, and then we'll play the Cyllene. Do hit double head, so that's fantastic. Can put back the Pal Pad and the Scoop Up Net. I think I'm going to put that order. And I think we're just going to pass. I don't really want to give my opponent anything to the Avery. No, again, keeping our bench limited at this point. Actually going to start Scoop Up netting to pick up all the Pokemon on my bench and just go down to a lone Mewtwo. They could eventually go in with like a Duraludon and start hitting for 220 with that. And then eventually we might have to heal with the Radiant Tsareena, but as long as we are able to cycle those Scoop Up Nets, we could even just pick it up out of play after using it. And actually our opponent just passes. So we will go ahead and use this Training Court to get a Psychic Energy back into our hand. We can hold this so that we could go for the final burn at some point if we want to. We will play the Pal Pad. I want to get this Cyllene and Flannery back because I would actually love to use the Flannery this turn. Gardevoir to draw 2 cards, get the Pal Pad and the Flannery, that's perfect. And I just want to get rid of this Training Court. I don't really want them to have access to unlimited energy, so we'll get rid of that. I think we're actually going to go for the Psysplosion here. I want to just put as much pressure on as we can. This way they can't just sit here infinitely. I'm not sure if they play any kind of... we did see that Cyllene earlier, so they might have like an infinite loop kind of their own. So we can just put a lot of damage and play with that Psysplosion, but they do play a Sharon's Care. We'll see if that hurts us, if they play something like a Drapion that they could attack with, perhaps. And just the pass onto our turn. And we are going to go in with the Cyllene to start. Get 1 head, so we'll just put back that Pal Pad. And then we will just go for the Psysplosion. And I'm actually going to put them on the Zamazenta at this point. Put all the damage there. It's a lot of clicks. Put the damage on the Zamazenta. And I'm not actually going to take these KOs, but I'm going to set all of them up to get KO'd by 1 Psysplosion. So we could theoretically just take all 6 of our prizes in the same turn. Opponent has a Lumineon, so they might Marnie us or something here. I'm not sure what kind of... They have Peony. I'm not sure they really want to play that. Wonder what kind of cards they could have. Wow, they do actually play the Peony, so they'll discard their entire hand, get any 2 trainer cards they want. We'll see what they get off this. Collapse Stadium Boss's Orders, okay. So we are once again just holding these Scoop Up Nets in hand, so we don't really mind if they want to boss something up. They can Collapse Stadium away their own Zamazenta, but again, we don't really even care about that. We're going to eventually deck our opponent out. That's our main focus here. We'll draw the last card in deck. I'll use the Cyllene here, and we do get 1 heads. So I'm going to grab this last Scoop Up Net. Once again, just playing around the boss that we know they grabbed for next turn, and then I'll actually play the Pal Pad now. I don't really mind rearranging the deck, just get both of those Cylenes back. We're just going to kind of play it a little bit safer at this point. And then we'll just go for the Psysplosion once more. And just put them all on the Espeon. Put the damage there. They do play the boss, probably bring up this Gardevoir, but they know we just grabbed the Scoop Up Net, and we are holding on to 2 Scoop Up Nets in our hand, so we'll just Scoop Up Net the Gardevoir right away. Not even going to bother putting it back down. And I will just go in with the Psysplosion again. Put damage on this Duraludon. And because this only prevents damage, it doesn't prevent the effects of the attacks. That's why it doesn't actually matter that we have this V-Guard energy. So our opponent will start pressuring us with this Miltank, or they'll just retreat into the Duraludon. So again, now we can just start the loop of super regeneration. So we'll go in with this Tsareena, use that Elegant Heal, use the Cyllene. Did get double tails, and I'll go for the super regeneration here. Just completely heal that 200 damage off of our Mewtwo, and we can just keep doing this over and over again. I can recycle the Scoop Up Nets and everything. Even if they knock out the Tsareena, we can eventually just get that back with Cyllene as well. We top deck the Cyllene here, so we'll go for the Elegant Heal. Use this Cyllene. Double tails again, super unfortunate, but we do still have the Pal Pad, so we can put those Cylenes back into the deck. And as long as we don't hit 4 more tails, we should be totally okay here. And just go with the super regeneration. Capturing Aroma. I don't even know what that card does. But apparently nothing, since our opponent is not actually grabbing anything off of it. I think it's some kind of Pokemon search card, so I'm not too worried about that one. Just did not expect to see that, that's for sure. Use this Cyllene. Whew, I was a little bit nervous there. Put back the Pal Pad. And super regeneration. So wash and repeat, rinse and repeat. We are just going to keep healing. They only have 3 cards left in deck. Even if they were to Marnie, they would still run out of cards very soon. Eventually, they're going to have to target down our bench. We only have 3 prizes worth of Pokemon on our bench, and we have the Scoop Up Net, so I'm not even remotely worried about that. Go in with the Elegant Heal, and they, once again, just should not have any way to disrupt our setup. Just go for that super regeneration. We know the Cyllene is the last card in deck again. Another Gmax Pulverization, but you can see right now Mewtwo just doing Mewtwo things. This is what the deck is designed to do. Go for that Elegant Heal. Use the Cyllene. Get 1 heads again. Put back that Pal Pad. And super regeneration again. On to our opponent's turn. Again, I don't think there's anything they can do at this point to prevent this from happening. We even kept our energy attachments limited to 3 so that the Espeon VMAX couldn't punish us with more damage. They can't loop their Lumineon because they have so much energy in play already, so I'm not worried about anything our opponent can do here. We'll just go in with the Pal Pad to get back double Cyllene. Used that Elegant Heal and then super regeneration, and our opponent concedes. I think the only thing we were worried about that at that point was our misclick. If we hit the wrong attack or something, we could have immediately lost, so pretty much the only out for our opponent at that point. That match really showcasing how invincible Mewtwo V-Union can seem. Once you have that V-Guard energy down, you have the infinite loop of the Elegant Heal from Tsareena into the super regeneration and the Pal Pads and Cyllene to never deck out, and eventually you just win the game by decking your opponent out. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like on it, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.